A polygon is a shape with multiple sides, essentially a series of lines that can then be filled in with a color. It's similar to a polyline in that the outer line can contain multiple segments, but unlike the polyline, you can fill in the center with the color of your choice and create transparencies. I'll describe how to draw a polygon in this project named Draw Polygon. In this version of the project, I've declared an array list of marker references at line 52. It's named Markers. It's instantiated as the main activity class is created, and it'll be used to track multiple markers in the map. I've also declared a constant named Polygon Points and set it to a value of 3. That'll be the maximum number of markers that I want to display on the map. In my Add Marker method, first, I'm checking to see what the size of my array list is. If it matches the value of Polygon Points, I'm calling my Remove Everything method. And then, down here at line 276, when I add the marker to the map, I'm returning the reference and adding it to the markers collection. In the Remove Everything method, I'm looping through the collection and removing each marker from the map and then clearing the collection so I can start over. The map can therefore have up to 3 markers. So when I first open the app, I see the map without any markers, and then I'll touch and hold 3 times, and that creates 3 markers. But when I touch and hold a 4th time, that creates a new marker but gets rid of the original ones. So now let's see what code is needed to draw a polygon that uses those 3 points to draw a shape with multiple sides. So I'll go back to Android Studio, and I'll create a new method that's private and void, and I'll name it Draw Polygon. I'll create an instance of the class Polygon Options, and I'll name it Options. And I'll instantiate it with its constructor method. Now the coding style is just like marker options and polyline options. You can call a series of methods to define what the polygon will look like. I'll start with Fill Color. Fill Color takes a hexadecimal value that has 8 characters. The first 2 characters are the amount of transparency, and then the next 6 characters are the actual color. So I'll use 33 for the amount of alpha or transparency, and then 0000FF for the color. Next, I'll set something called the stroke width, and I'll set that to a value of 3, and next the stroke color. And for this, I'll use a constant. I'll use the color class from Android.graphics and the constant blue. And those are all the options that I'll set. Take a look at the documentation for other methods that you can call from Polygon Options to affect the appearance of the shape. Next, I need to add the markers. This will determine the shape that I'm creating. I'll create a for loop, and I'll keep looping as long as I is less than Polygon Points, my constant. For each marker in the array list, I'll call the Options Add method, and I'll pass in markers. And first, I'll get a reference to the current marker with markers.get, and then from there, I'll call getPosition to get the lat-long object that represents the marker's position on the map. And finally, I'm ready to actually draw the polygon. I'll declare an instance of the Polygon class, and I'll name it Shape. And I'll get its reference from mmap.addPolygon. Make sure you call addPolygon and not addPolyline. And I'll add in my options object. Now, just as I did previously with the polyline, I want to be able to remove it, and so I'll break this up into a declaration and an assignment, and I'll take this declaration and I'll move it up to the top of the class as a private field. Then I'll go to my Remove Everything method, and I'll add conditional code with a condition of shape not equal to null, and if the shape is there, I'll remove it, and I'll set it back to null. So now I have everything in place to draw the polygon, and I need to call it from somewhere. And I'll place that code right here after adding a marker. I'll use a conditional block, and I'll check the size of the array list that's referencing my markers with markers.size, and if it matches my constant Polygon Points, then I'll call my method, Draw Polygon. So now I can keep on adding markers until I've matched the right number of markers, and then the polygon will be drawn. And I'll run that bit of code. And I'm ready for the next test. I'll create 2 markers, and so far nothing happens, but now I'll add the 3rd marker, and I get my shape. When I add a 4th marker, all 3 previous markers are taken away, along with the polygon. Now, if I want to change this into a polygon with a different number of points, I only need to change my constant, polygon points. And this time, I'll create a polygon with 5 points. I'll run the app again. And this time, I'll press and hold 5 times. And there's my shape. And then when I press the 6th time, the shape and the markers go away, and a new marker is created. So that's how to create a polygon and draw it on the map. And there's one more shape that you can draw on a map, a circle, and I'll describe how to do that in the next video.